You know that feeling, right? That tiny, creeping, absolutely maddening sensation on your skin that you just gotta scratch. It's something we all experience. But have you ever really stopped and wondered what's going on? Well, let's dive into the pretty amazing science behind that simple scratch.
Because what if I told you that simple sensation is both a life-saving ancient alarm and a surprisingly clever biological trap your own brain sets for you?
All right, first up, let's figure out what an itch actually is. Because, it's not just some random annoyance. It has a really deep evolutionary purpose.
And yep, it's got an official, fancy name, pruritus. This isn't just a minor feeling. It's a distinct biological process that scientists take very, very seriously. Think of pruritus as your body's own personal alarm system. For our ancestors, an itch could literally be a lifesaver. It was the signal that told them to swat away a mosquito carrying a disease or brush off a parasite before it could burrow in. It's our brain's ancient way of yelling, "Hey, pay attention. Deal with this thing on your skin right now." So, how does this little alarm signal get from your skin all the way up to your brain? For a long time, scientists thought they knew the answer, but it turns out they had it completely wrong. For decades, the common belief was that an itch was just a weak form of pain. Like pain with the volume turned way down. But recent discoveries have totally flipped that idea on its head. Itch is its own, totally unique sensation with its own dedicated highway to the brain.
Think of it like this. When a mosquito bites you, your body releases chemicals like histamines. Those chemicals specifically trigger what you could call itch receptors, or peroceptors. They send a very clear itch signal. Pain, on the other hand, is triggered by actual physical damage, and it activates a completely separate set of nerves called nociceptors. They're two different highways, carrying two very different messages to your brain.
And this brings us to the action we all know and, let's be honest, love, the scratch. We know it brings relief, but what's actually happening on a neurological level?
So here's the key. When you scratch, you're creating a new low-level pain signal. This new signal travels up those pain pathways we just talked about, and basically it shouts over the itch signal. Your brain gets distracted by the scratch, and for that one glorious moment, the itch just fades into the background. Okay, but simple distraction doesn't explain why scratching feels so incredibly good. I mean, that feeling of pure, satisfying relief isn't just about stopping the itch. This is where your brain plays its cleverest trick of all. That's right. The pleasure doesn't actually come from silencing the itch. It comes from a chemical reward your brain gives you for scratching. So your brain detects that mild pain from your fingernails, and to deal with it, it releases serotonin. This is the exact same feel-good chemical that's associated with happiness and well-being. That euphoric feeling you get, that's your brain's direct response to the scratch itself. It's a reward system, and it reinforces the action, making you want to do it again.
And that desire to do it again, well, that's exactly where this ancient survival tool can turn into a big modern-day problem. Welcome to the vicious itch-scratch cycle.
So here's how the trap works. That first scratch feels amazing because of that serotonin hit. But if you keep scratching, you start to cause tiny amounts of damage to your skin. This damage makes your body release even more of those itch-causing chemicals, like histamines. And the result? The itch comes roaring back, but this time it's stronger, which just makes you want to scratch even more. So your brain gets hooked on that momentary serotonin rush, driving you to scratch even when the original problem is long gone. The very thing that provides relief ends up making the problem worse. This is why for people with chronic conditions like eczema, this cycle can become a constant, absolutely miserable feedback loop of itch, damage, and then even more itch.
So the next time you feel that urge, just remember the complex dance happening right under your skin. Is it a helpful warning from your ancestors? Or is your own brain luring you into a trap? The crazy answer is, it's both. And that is precisely what makes the science of the scratch so fascinating.